Salute, Rocco. You know, I posted a video um, not too long ago, right before I jump on this live, about protests that's going on in Panama City. You know, protests that's going on in Panama City. Salute, Shay Shay. I will say this right now. It's because the rising food costs and things of that nature. Okay. The reason why I put they don't want you to know this because they can't cause anything to collapse. We're the ones who can cause it to collapse. They can't they can put things in motion, but they still have to utilize the 99% for as employment, for as certain things, in order for things to collapse. They cannot create a collapse. The biggest secret that's going on right now with the elites is that it's a wealth transfer that's happening. And they have put things in place, a lot of fear mongering, a lot of scare tactics to make more money to buy more land. You see, land is the real asset. We are the real asset, first and foremost. Let me get that correct. The person is the real asset. And see, after you, then it's the land because you need you to plant the vegetations, to plant the fruits, to do all the things that you need to survive. You actually need people to do those things. And then the land becomes the secondary asset. So their goal is to actually keep you enslaved, making money for them and getting things done for them, and then buy up all the land as possible. Because if they own the land, they own the food. Whoever own the food control the people, and that's pretty much the game. The game is that they wanna keep you enslaved and own all the land. Whether that be a business that's hiding behind a property that you own, that's trying to make you offer to buy your property and put you in a rental. It's just then in the rental they own the rental sector. So now you paying rent to them, or you paying mortgage to them, or whatever. That's the whole cycle. The cycle is to keep you going to work, keep you working, and the money that you make, you give it to them. That's the whole game plan. The food that you buy, you give it to them. This is why that the Amish farmer they prevent him from making processing meat or whatever, selling his stock, because if they can't get their cut, right, they can't get their cut, then they don't want you to do it, because they are going into the business to pushing you out of what you do. They want to own everything and you don't own nothing. That way you're dependent on them, meaning that you have to utilize your labor skills to actually come back and spend with them. So it's a big old rotation, a big old cycle that these people utilize in the game. And people across the world is waking up to that. It's crazy. Everybody waking up to that. Most people waking up to that. But I put that guy in the thumbnail because that guy right there, he created and he started the WEF, and that's what the WEF is about. It's about the Great Reset. The Great Reset is about manipulating you, myself, out of everything that we have, right? Taking advantage of people who have less than. That's what the Great Reset is about. Taking advantage of people who have less than. We have, we have, for example, they have more, so they utilize their more to take advantage of what you have. Meaning that you own a house, okay? Meaning that you own a house. So I'm gonna break it down. You own a house, so we're gonna make your offer on the house that you can't refuse. But in the meantime, we're gonna make inflation so high that to the point where if you come back to rent, everything that we gave you for that house, within 5, 6 years, we're gonna get that back plus some. But you don't own that house anymore. You can't pass that house down to your kids, or you can't pass it down to your grandkids. It's not in your family anymore. That's the whole game plan. The whole game plan is for you not to own nothing and you to depend on them. This is why all the wildfires, they're taking the hunting game away from the hunters, because they want you to come to their meat processing plants and get their meat where they inject chemicals and into the animals, and where they spray parasites on the fruits. They want you to go to their supermarkets. They want you to buy their water. They want you to everything that they want you to work, build labor, make money to spend it right back with them, right? And that's the greatest reset in the world. The greatest reset in the world is that I own everything. I even own the company that you work for. So when I pay you, You got to turn right back around and spend your money right back with me. That's the greatest reset in the world. That's enslavement to everybody in the world. If it's a handful of people that own everything, that's enslavement to everyone in the world. That's the greatest reset. And people don't realize that that's the great reset. The great reset is to transfer the little bit of wealth that people do have and to take it from them. Meaning that you go to work for a company that I own, you go to the supermarket, spend that same money back with the company that I own. You go buy a car, spend that money back with the same car dealership that I own, and everything that you make, I control how much you make because I'm in partnership with the government and they dictate the pay scale. So I dictate what you make. I dictate the fluctuations in the economy. There's so many dictatorships that they have going on, and that is the WEF, everybody. That is the WEF, and I hope that this news get out because the WEF they're based upon taking, 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 taking. And when I say taking advantage of those who have less than. That's the advantages that they have with everyone. Taking, 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 taking. If you got a job and you got a 401k, let's make the 401k strength let's make the stock market strength so much to the point where those 100 employees, they get scared and they sell because they're afraid they're gonna lose it all. And when they take out, the price gonna drop more. And when the price drop more, they're gonna buy it back. And when they buy it back, it's gonna go back up. And when it go back up, you would have lost all your money. Your money just transferred to them. Now, with the cost of living going up, your money totally is worth nothing. So you lost two times. You lost the money that you lost a dollar or 50 cent match that they gave you, right? And they use your money as collateral to expand their businesses. You put your money in a 401k, and they expand their businesses. They got more land off your money. They bought more land, and they grow their businesses and they grow their properties. And then every so what years is a recycle. Well, economy like it's gonna crash, and they get out here and they speak these things into fruition because they have the power, the verse to do it. If they say something crazy in a tweet or they say something crazy on a social media platform, every news outlet gonna pick it up and say that this person said that and start the fear mongering. So you're gonna pull your money out. I'm gonna use Elon Musk as an example. I'm gonna be short and fast with him. He owns so many Tesla shares, right? So many. He owns so many. He's the owner of the company, so he owns the majority. If he sell a huge bulk of the shares, what you think the share stock gonna do? It's gonna drop. It's gonna drop. And then the news gonna be like, well, Tesla shares dropped $100 and da 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 da. Well, the owner then sold so many shares. So what you mean? The price can't stay high because so many shares came out at one time. So when the price dropped, now you got investors who are in the 99%. They don't want to lose their money because of fear mongering. So they start to pull out and selling. And when they pull out and selling, now he can go back and buy the same amount of shares, if not more, at a cheaper price because of the manipulation that he just did. The shares can help but the drop. If he's selling 2-3 million shares, can't help but the drop. And that's how they transfer wealth. See, he took hands out, sold hands at a higher, decent price. They had to collapse. They had to fall $100, $200. And then when you see that it's dropping like that, and with the media and all the different outlets and the propaganda that they pushing, saying that this, that, and the third, you're gonna pull your money out because you already lost it. You think that you lost $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 or whatever, but you really didn't lose anything. You lose only when you sell the shit. But they're not gonna tell you that part. You just got to sit and hold, because when you pull out, it dropped down even further, and then he come back and scoop up the shares that you had plus the shares he had at a cheaper price, and he done made a huge profit. And that's all. That's the whole game they've been doing. They've been rinsing, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Like they keep saying the dollar bill gonna crash. Do you guys know that every other currency in the world is lower than the dollar? and the dollar have gained and gotten stronger and stronger and stronger with this whole process, a lot more stronger than everybody else dollar. You see, you see the dollar have gotten stronger, and you guys understand that with the wildlife fires and all these different things, if it's a depletion in fruits and vegetables and food, then the prices only go up. See, this is the thing, right? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off this live. I'm okay. Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates, he owned more farmland than anybody else in America, right? Long as there's a food shortage, right, or quote unquote, right, and long as there's a cargo shortage, I mean a cargo problem, a shipment problem with the trains because the heat. Long as there's all these different issues with these different things, Bill Gates, he can sell that food that he owned in that farmland for 5, 6 times higher. And plus, he can utilize all type of he could do the different things that he got going on with the parasites and try to plant base and do all this because he owned the land. You see, he owned the land. So at the end of the day, he who owns the land, he who owns the business, control the price. Now it's up to the consumer whether you're gonna buy it or not, whether you're gonna purchase it or not. And unfortunately, they put you in situations where they're causing all these different things where you have to purchase certain things from these people. Salute, this is 504 Cut. I hope I drop a jewel on somebody today. The Great Reset is to keep you broke and keep you in slavery.